Hi Red Base, it's Miss Eesha here. Welcome back to your second maths activity this week, where we are going to carry on looking at halving. Now yesterday you should have gone through the PowerPoint that had lots of different chocolate bars on. So if you haven't done that yet, make sure you go and do that before you come and do this video. Okay? So yesterday you looked at different chocolate bars and you were having a look to see if they were halved or if they were not halved. A little bit like the story that I told you last week about me and Miss Kaylee. So let me just recap that with you with our chocolate bars. So we had a chocolate bar last week, didn't we? Where we had a look at how Miss Eesha and Miss Kaylee could chop it in half. And we chopped it in half like this, didn't we? We chopped it right down the middle and we gave Miss Kaylee 4 pieces and we gave Miss Eesha 4 pieces, didn't we? Now, today and for the rest of this week, we're going to look at different ways that we can halve, because there's not just one way that we can halve, we can do it in lots of different ways. A little bit like when we do number bonds and we make numbers, we can make numbers in lots of different ways, can't we? And it's the same with halving, we can halve in different ways as well. So, we chopped up the chocolate bar in half like this. Now let me show you a different way that Miss Eesha and Miss Kaylee could have chopped their chocolate bar to make sure that they've both got the same amount of chocolate. Now, how many pieces of chocolate did they get each? Can you count them for me? 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. They got 4 pieces, didn't they? Now, there is another way that we could have chopped this chocolate bar in half, and I'm going to show you it first and see if you can really see it. Now, I'm not going to chop it down this way because we already know that works, don't we? I'm going to do it a different way. So watch Miss Eesha. I'm going to get my scissors and I'm going to turn the chocolate bar this way up so it's standing up, and then I'm going to chop it in half this way. Watch what's happened. So I've split it in half, I've chopped it in half. How many pieces have Miss Eesha and Miss Kaylee got each? Let's look. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's right. So they've still got 4. It just looks a little bit different to the other one that we chopped, doesn't it? It's still 4, but they just look a little bit different. Now let's check and see if Miss Eesha's got 4 as well, because we know that Miss Kaylee's got 4 because we've counted it. Now let's see if Miss Eesha's got 4. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4 as well. So have we halved the chocolate bar and shared out the pieces? Yes, we have. Fantastic, because Miss Eesha's got 4 and Miss Kaylee's got 4. But it just looks a little bit different to the one that we chopped last time. Because look, that's the one that we chopped last week, and we can see that they've still got 4 pieces. And this is the one that we've chopped this week, and we can still see that they've got 4 pieces, haven't they? So that's just an example of the different ways that we can chop things in half and make sure that everybody has still got the same amount and that we are still sharing. Now, for today, you will need some shapes. So if you look on Google Classroom, you will see that there is a picture of some shapes that I've drawn for you. And these are the shapes that I would like you to draw as well. So let's have a look at this one. What shapes do I have here? Let's have a look. Let's count the sides and see if we can guess what shapes I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's got 4 sides, and we know this is a bit of a special shape because it's got 2 short sides and 2 long sides. So this shape is a rectangle. Well done if you got that one right. So this is a rectangle. Can you say rectangle? Brilliant, well done. So you've got a copy of some rectangles that I would like you to draw. You will also need these shapes, which are also on Google Classroom for you to have a look at. What shapes do I have here? What's this one? It's nice and round. So what's that shape called when it's round and only has one side? It's a circle. Fantastic. So we've got a circle, and what's the other one here? What's this one? Shall we count the sides first and see if that helps you? Ready? 1, 2, 3. What shape's got 3 sides? It's a triangle. Fantastic. So you need to have a go at drawing a circle, a triangle, and you've also got to have a go at drawing some of these shapes. Now, what are these shapes that we've got here? What's this one? Do we count the sides and see if it helps? Are we ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. It's got 4 sides, and all the sides are the same size each. So it's a square. Well done. So we've got a square, and what's this shape here? Looks a bit like a diamond, doesn't it? So you need to draw yourself a little bit of a diamond shape, okay? So you need to draw a diamond shape, a square, a circle, a triangle, and 2 rectangles. One that's standing up and one that's on its side, okay? And then when you've done that, you need to get yourselves a pair of scissors and cut your shapes out like this, okay? So I will let you pause the video, go and draw the shapes. If you've forgotten which ones they were, you can look on Google Classroom and you can see the picture of them. Get yourself a pair of scissors, cut them out, and then come straight back when you've finished. Okay? Right, are we ready? Have we got our shapes? Have you got your rectangle? And one that looks like that. Brilliant. Have you got your diamond? Fantastic. Have you got your square? Brilliant. Have you got your triangle? Well done. And lastly, have you got your circle? Fantastic. Well done. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to have a look at how we can chop our shapes in half. And I'm going to start with this one. What's this shape? It's a square. Well done. Now I want to chop my square in half. And I'm going to do this in a different way. Okay? So, have a think. How can I chop it in half so that I've got 2 pieces that are the same? What can I do? If I show you, what I'm going to do first is a really good trick. What I can do first to help me half is I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to make sure that there's no bits peeking out, because otherwise it won't be the same on each side. So I'm going to fold it in half and I'm going to open it back up. If you look inside, I'm going to chop it in half, and I'm going to have 2 pieces that are the same. So I'm going to get my scissors. I'm going to cut it in half. Watch. So I had a full square, I had a whole square, and now I've chopped it in half and I've got 2 pieces that are the same. And I know that they're the same because they fit back together perfectly, don't they? Okay, so I had one whole square, I've chopped it in half into 2 pieces. Can you recognise this shape that the square has turned into? It's a little bit like a shape that we've already drawn and cut out. Can you remember? Look, it's turned into a rectangle, hasn't it? That's cool. So we know that if we cut a square in half, it turns into 2 rectangles. So 1 square is equal to 2 rectangles. Fantastic. So that's one way that we can chop a square in half. let me show you another way that we can chop our square in half. So here's another square, another blank square. I'm going to do my folding trick again because it helps me see the line where I'm going to cut. But this time I'm not going to fold it this way like we already did. I'm going to fold it downwards. And again, I'm going to make sure that I'm folding it so that there's no pieces sticking out, because otherwise the sides won't be the same. Okay, so there we go. Can you see the line that I have folded? And that's the line where I'm going to cut across. Okay, so watch what happens when I cut across this line. Because I'm not cutting this way like I did before, I'm cutting across in the middle. There we go. Look what's happened. I had a whole square, I chopped it in half, and again I've got two rectangles again, haven't I? Now I have still got two equal sides, but I've just chopped it in a different way. Okay, I haven't chopped it that way, I've chopped it this way, and I've still got two equal sides just like I did last time. Fantastic. So there's a couple of ways that we can chop a square in half. Let's look at a different shape. Let's look at this shape. What shape do I have here? A triangle. Fantastic. Now, I need to figure out a way to fold this triangle so that I can cut it in half. Now this one might be a bit tricky because it's got pointy sides, hasn't it? And a square has got nice straight sides. And a triangle doesn't have nice straight sides. It's a bit pointier. So let's have a little explore. If I fold it this way, am I going to be able to cut it in half and have two bits that are the same? Shall we have a look? So I'm going to fold it this way, fold it in half and press the paper down, so that when I open it back up I can see the line. And then I'm going to cut it in half. Let's have a look. So I've cut it. Now, have I got two pieces that look the same? Are these pieces equal to each other? Do they look the same? They don't, do they? This one is much bigger than this one. Now that means we haven't halved it properly because we've not halved it into two equal parts. They're not the same, are they? So we know that that's a way not to halve a triangle. So let's try a different way instead. Now, we know that way doesn't work, so we're not going to do that again. I'm going to try and do it down the middle this time. So watch, I'm going to fold it in half like this down the middle, and I'm going to flatten the paper so that when I open it, it's got a line down the middle, and that line is where I'm going to use my scissors and cut. I'm going to cut them in half. There we go. Now let's have a look. Have we got two equal sides this time? Are they the same now? They are. Fantastic. So we had one whole triangle and then we've cut it in half, and now what have we ended up with? We've ended up with two mini triangles, haven't we? So we had a big triangle and now we've chopped it in half and we've got two little triangles. And these two much more look the same, don't they? Much more than these two bits. These two bits were not the same, were they? No, that's right. And these two are the same. So that means we have halved this shape and shared it into two equal parts. Fantastic. Okay, let's do one more together and then I will let you go off and do this by yourself. Now, what shape's this one? A circle. Fantastic. Now, I want to chop this circle in half. Now there are a couple of ways that we could do this, so have a think about how we're going to chop this circle. Do you want to get your circle and do it with me? So if you get your circle that you cut out and pop it in your hand like this, and then let's have a look at how we can fold it in half. I'm going to do a little bit like what we did with the square, and I'm going to fold it down like this. Okay, so I fold it down and squash the paper, and then open it back up so you can see the line, and then that line is where we're going to cut. There we go, and have a look. Have we cut the circle into 2 equal parts? We have, haven't we? Because they look the same, don't they? They look the same, they look equal, and they fit together perfectly. So we had one circle, we had one whole circle, and now we've got 2 halves of a circle. Fantastic, well done. Now, there's a different way that we could have chopped our circle in half, a little bit like the square. So we know this bit works. Is there another way that we could fold it together and halve it? We can go down the middle, can't we? Look, so I'm going to fold my circle down the middle and squash the paper. And then open it back up again so I can see that line. Can you see that line? Brilliant. And then that line is where I'm going to cut. There we go. Cut down the middle. Watch what's happened. Have we got 2 equal sides? Do they look the same? They do. Fantastic. So even though it looks a bit different to this half of the circle, it's still halved because both of them are the same size. Fantastic. We had one whole circle and now we've got 2 halves of a circle. So even though this half and this half looked a bit different, we have still managed to chop them in half, just in a different way. Okay, fantastic. So I'm going to let you go off and carry on that with your rectangles. Fantastic. You've got one that looks like that and you've got one that looks like that, and then you can carry on with your diamonds as well. And if you want to have a go at doing the square all by yourself, because Miss Eesha's already showed you how to do that one, and the triangle, have a go, see if you can do it by yourself, and have a look at some of the ways where they're not equal. Okay, so a bit like the triangle, they were not equal sides, were they? So have a little explore and show me lots of different ways where they are not halved and where they have halved. Okay, and then you can pop your pictures on Google Classroom or Tapestry for all your teachers to see. Alright, Red Base, I hope you enjoy that. See you later. Bye bye.